The wood spider is the most accomplished of all web-building species. Recently, scientists gave these tiny creatures a variety of psychoactive drugs to observe their effects on web building. When given a minute dose of LSD, the spider's web took on an unfamiliar, minimalist structure. When given caffeine, the web structure was not affected, but the spider's behavior was. Given THC, the active ingredient in marijuana, the spider didn't build a web. It built a hammock, where it lay all day and watched the caffeine spider go. When given alcohol, the spider built a web, found a mate, and raised over 100 young. But the mate got a restraining order, and now the spider can't go within 100 centimeters of the web. The crack cocaine spider figured building webs was for suckers, waited till the caffeine spider was exhausted, then came up behind it and popped a cap in its ass. Nice web, Mr. Crack Spider. When winter came, the marijuana spider had no place to live. It ended up in the crack web as the crack spider's bitch. For more information on the crack spider's bitch, contact the Canadian Wildlife Service in Ottawa.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to yet another episode of Rogan Radio live on the friendly confines of Studio A here in the luxurious ranch of Casa the Rogan Lumberport.
You know it.
Thanks.
What's going on, everybody?
You know it. You know. Hey, Sandy Mac's watching.
Really?
Yeah.
Should we listen?
watching.
Well, I know why she's watching.
Should we do it?
Let me tell you about Sandy.
Yep.
We have two guests in here tonight from the honor fight that we're going to talk to, Cinnamon and Billy Joe. Now, you have not met Sandy yet, Sandy McIntyre.
Yep. That's her.
What happened was, things happen in life that where you just can't do what you want to do.
Nope.
That's just how life works.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
One thing that Derek did not get to do as a child was go to SeaWorld.
I never got to go.
And he holds that against, I know, when it was in Ohio, when it was relatively easy to go there.
Yeah.
So occasionally, when Sandy gets on here, we like to give her a little bit of hell because of that.
No shamu for you.
No. Yeah. My heart breaks right now.
It's because from a baseball, not because you're sad.
It's a true story.
Hey, we got to update.
Elizabeth,
Captain Merle.
Captain
Captain
Merle
Merle has said that he apologizes he's not here,
Yeah.
but he is on Route 50 East heading home.
Yeah, well,
So we love you, brother.
We love you,
Yeah, we
Todd
do.
Beck.
Captain Earl, you would know him as the Chewbacca of the show. Some terrible news with Captain Earl and Jesse,
you
his
just
twin
call
brother.
Michelle Chewbacca. You're
Todd
starting off
was.
early.
Todd was.
Todd
Todd
Chewbacca
is.
of this show. Anyway, on Saturday, Todd's father passed away, David. So we give him, and David was a cool cat, but we won't. He was a cool dude, and one thing that he would not want us to do is sit here and necessarily reflect on
Right.
David, but he was a cool cat, and our thoughts and prayers with the Beck family.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So he was a cool
Yes.
cat. And Todd's, like I said, he's
we love you, Todd.
Yeah, we did. So anyway, here's the great part
I love
about
you more than
tonight's show.
Michelle.
Here's the great part about tonight's show. Tonight we're going to
Right.
talk about the honor flight.
Yep.
It's based out of Huntington, but there's a nice one that comes out of Clarksburg. That's a branch. And we're going to tell you about some of the things and the benefits of this. It's basically about taking veterans over to Washington, D.C., where all the monuments are. And you would be kind of amazed how many haven't done that. And we have two ladies in here tonight that make that happen. And that's going to be fantastic to talk about. We teased last week about cleanliness, about all these things, and we always talk about things at the beginning of the show we never get to because that's just how we roll. We just
Right.
do stuff like that. Tonight we're going to actually talk about it because one thing I didn't know, another story popped up of being too clean is a big contributor to either if having allergies or asthma if you suffer from either one of those.
It's a wonder you don't have any of them.
Yeah.
What?
Well.
Oh,
Huh?
what?
What?
You know something. As you can tell, Jimmy Wiz is in the studio, and there has yet to be a sound off his keyboard yet. He's the soundboard operator.
Yeah. Well.
D-Mac got hit with a line drive, or fractured 3 ribs.
3. Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Now, see, that's the
This is a
difference.
true story.
Now,
That is 100%.
And he's got to
true
sit here and try not to
story.
laugh.
I'm trying not to laugh because I'm hurt.
Now, the difference.
We got another one.
Now, the cool thing about Derek, when he came over and said, "Man, my ribs hurt," I'm like, "Well, shit," because you know what? I've been dealing with that for about 5 weeks now, right? But except we went over to Cheat Lake there about 5 weeks, 6 weeks ago. I actually rolled down some rocks because Michelle drugged me, trying to get
Yeah,
trying to
okay.
take advantage of me, and I hit some
Whatever.
rocks trying to climb them, and
That is not a true story.
and I cracked some ribs, but I
Right.
did crack some ribs, and that was the most certainly. So we have all that to talk about. We have some really strange news, some really strange things that have happened around the world. I love strange stuff, like the guy that was in a taco eating contest out in California, and he happened to choke on a taco, and guess what happened?
He died.
He died.
Oh gosh. I wonder if
How
it was
about
the
a
lettuce.
lady? How about a lady that was skydiving? And what happened was misophonia, Jimmy. What happened was she fell. Imagine this, and we're going to tease this later. She was in an airplane doing these skydiving things because that's like the new thing to do.
Right.
So she jumps out. Hey, listen, nothing ever goes wrong unless it's that person, and it happened to be her that day. So she drops 5,000 feet. Both chutes don't open.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
We're
heard
gonna
about
tease
this.
that
Yeah,
too.
both chutes didn't open.
Both chutes. Now, what's the chances of that happening?
That's asshole puckering time right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
When the
You
second
think?
one don't go,
Yeah.
it was like, oh,
Did she die?
No, she lived.
she lived.
No, absolutely she lived. She hit a bunch of trees on the way down, but that's just how it rolls sometimes. Better being dead. Here's what I want to know right now. Right off the show. Who we going with us? Tell me. Shout me out.
Dr. Hall.
Dr. Hall's in the house. We had a great weekend with Dr. Hall at St.
Rachel
Jude's.
Ashby.
Rachel in the house.
Carol Miller.
Hello,
Pam
Carol.
Kirby.
Hello, Pam. What is happening, Pam?
Tim Sutherland.
Tim. Great job.
Dr. Hall was in the house.
Yeah.
Still waiting on Tim to get in here so we can
Absolutely.
do the video.
Yeah.
Tim, he trained a canine that's doing fantastic work. I think there's up to like 11 busts now
Yeah.
with the new dog. Him and John Harbert, chief of police down in the city of Shinston. Fantastic. And I keep watching those videos, and you know what? German Shepherd's pretty intimidating,
Oh yeah.
especially when they're biting you.
Yeah. I don't know. Think about that. Jonathan Del Rio.
What's up, Jonathan? How you doing, brother?
I got my cousin on here, Sonia.
Hello, Sonia. I saw you yesterday.
Polly Courtney.
Hello, Billy.
Speaking of the dogs biting you, the police dogs biting you.
Yeah.
Does anybody else in here watch Live PD?
All the time.
Two things I root for all the time. Please tase somebody and please let that dog go.
Speaking,
Please let the dog bite him.
now listen, we are, when things happen, they always happen in groups. If you've noticed that, everything happens good for people or everything happens bad for people. About 5 weeks ago, I rolled down some rocks at Cheat Lake. Now listen,
Yeah.
it wasn't my choosing. I would have never done that.
Well, it actually was your choosing.
It sort of was.
Still a shortcut.
Thursday, D-Mac gets hit with a line drive,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got some broken ribs or whatever.
Yeah.
So then here comes this guy over there as the director known as D.
Yeah.
Right? And he wants to chime in like nothing ever bad happens to D. But he brings up the dog biting somebody and a taser, which I have to go back to because he's a goat farmer.
Yep.
That's right.
Somebody was doing some ramming over at the house today, and it wasn't you and Cindy.
Yeah, I wasn't ramming. I'm not
Ramming
going to
the
finish
D.
that sentence.
So what happened to
But
you?
yeah, that new goat we got,
Yeah.
he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Is that his name now, asshole?
Yeah, well, it's about to be 45. But yeah, so he has an attitude problem, and we he almost broke Cindy's finger and her toe the other day.
Oh.
And well, whenever you go in, you go, and he thinks he's the king shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's his place.
Oh yeah. Well, today he put two knots on my legs because he'll get down. He knows how he can get between his horns.
Yeah.
He can get my leg between there, and all he has to do is turn his head.
Listen, that almost sounds sexual.
And I'll tell you what, he's taken me down a couple times.
Has he?
So I got one of those tasers. I got one of them flashlight tasers.
And you got him?
Oh yeah.
He didn't like that.
And
did
not
he?
at all. He did everything. He about broke his neck trying to
Did
get out
he
of the
turn
barn.
into one of those fainting goats like you say when you
No,
you
I
see
wish
him?
that son's gun to put would faint.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, let's talk.
Oh, nothing like a goat problem.
Anyway, we have special guests in here tonight.
West Virginia problem.
We have
That's right.
Billy Joe and Cinnamon, and we're going to talk about the honor flight. Now, what the honor flight is, every single year, and hopefully it continues this way, the honor flight will take certain veterans based upon, I believe, the wars, and you could probably describe it later on, but you get them in an airplane and you fly them over to DC so they can actually see all the monuments, and they can actually see what their sacrifice has produced, so other people can and appreciate what they've done for the country. So Billy Joe, how long have you actually been in this now?
This is my third year.
Third year. Now what got you interested in this?
My grandfather.
Tell me about it.
My grandfather wanted to be on the flight, and he did not get to. So I myself took him up, and we spent 3 days and 2 nights going through D.C., seeing all the monuments and memorials.
Yeah.
And after that, I became a guardian, and I flew him with the flight twice. And then I started fundraising this past year for the flight, me and Joyce Circle.
Right. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, explain to me a little bit, how did because I know I generalize. Explain to me how the process works. I mean, what it encompasses. Because last year we had Chad went, and Darren went.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So explain exactly what the honor flight is.
The honor flight takes World War II, Korea and Vietnam, and terminally ill veterans. Those are the veterans that are eligible to fly. We take them to Washington, D.C. to see the monuments and the memorials that are built in their honor. We leave out of the Bridgeport-Clarksburg Airport. We start in the morning, and we serve them breakfast there. Then we board the plane to D.C. We land in D.C., and then we load on a bus. And we go through Washington, D.C., and see the monuments and memorials that are built there for the veterans in their honor.
Right. Now, Cinnamon, tell me about how'd you get involved?
I got involved because of Billy Joe here. And she asked me if I'd be interested in helping do the fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
So I organize for the tagging and stuff like that, and I'm our sidekick when we go out and about.
That's
Get
fantastic.
that money raised for our veterans.
And it's very satisfying, isn't it? I mean, when you see, I mean, you can actually see the emotion because these guys have already seen enough anyway. Yeah. And then, you know, I know Chad had an experience, and I'm sure Darren had one also. When you can actually go and and they see it, you know, because at the time they were just doing their deal, right? They were just doing what they were supposed to do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then you add another 20, 30, 40, 50 years to the process of their life.
Yes.
And luckily enough, they made it through the hell that they went through. And then all of a sudden, they see the appreciation of everything else that's happening in D.C., which is, you know, of course, the seat of government for the United States.
Yeah, I haven't had the honor to go on an honor flight yet, but just out tagging and meeting with some veterans there locally, their stories and the way they react to what we're doing for their benefit is just a heartbreaker.
Sure, sure.
They're so happy that we're doing this for them.
Right, and because a lot of times they don't want the attention. You know, they don't want to forget all that stuff. They don't want this stuff brought up. But then when they see it, and then they do see the actual appreciation of it, and then which would be kind of hard to be, and that's what's nice about what's happening now is with you have your caregivers, so you have somebody. You're not like left on your own to deal with perhaps bringing back memories of if you see a name on the Vietnam Memorial, for example, and you see that name that you haven't saw or maybe tried to block out of your head for 40 years, 50 years, whatnot, and all of a sudden you're like bang, and then they tell you their story.
It happens.
I'm sure it most certainly does.
Because, I mean, and some of them, you know. There's one that we had on was last year, and this guy didn't say a word. Did not say a word. We got down there, and he said, I want to look up 2 names.
Yeah.
We looked up 2 names. We went and found them, and he could not get that guy to shut up the rest of the flight.
Yeah.
Really?
And which was awesome, because he told me about how close he was to being killed along with him. And, you know, and it's just, man, stories are just, man, they're there, you know, and the first time that they see this wall, it's the first time he's ever seen it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And all the emotion that comes out, all the stories that comes out, it's just, man, it's phenomenal.
Now, Billy Joe, let me ask you this. I mean, we're and on the timeline of things, where are things right now?
Our next flight we are planning is for the spring of 2020. We are needing to raise $85,000.
Yeah.
Our first goal that we've set is for October 31st. We have to have $50,000 to book our flight. Right now, as of our fundraising efforts this weekend, we are setting at $40,000.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we need to raise $10,000 by October 31st to book our flight, and that will leave us with the remaining $35,000 to raise by April.
Well, like Darren, you were talking about what happened up at Sam's.
Right.
Yeah, explain that a little bit, because this is like a local thing for Clarksburg. And one thing we want to, you know, when you see stuff like this, I mean, it's the understanding of what's happening, and it's not cheap. You would think it would be, but when you pack a bunch of dudes into an airplane and you fly them, and not to mention you feed them breakfast in the morning, and then you have, you know, your caregivers also, and then you just go and you have the tour. Now, when I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no worries, go ahead.
But like when you do the tour in D.C., when you actually land on the tarmac in D.C., what happens at that point? Because I'm sure, I mean, it's just...
It's unbelievable, man.
Man.
There's a welcome home for these soldiers
Yep.
that they should have had when they came back the first time.
Right.
Yes.
Okay? You got the fire trucks out there with water cannons. You come off of the airplane through that tunnel, and you come out, and this is no lie. When we went down there was a group of high school kids, football team, last year. They came there on their own volition, on their weekend,
Right.
to greet, shake hands, and salute these soldiers as they were coming into the airport. There's music playing. There's
There's band there, you know, like a high school band.
Right.
You know, yeah.
So, you know, and going back to it, I mean, the support, like you say, if you go to D.C., that entire community there is welcoming everybody.
Right.
And then to send them, you have all these local municipalities, per se, these local areas, like what you guys did up there at Sam's Club. Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, well, we do fundraising. What Cinnamon was calling tagging is we go up and set up a place outside of an establishment after we get permission, of course. And we get permission. We have a little setup. We have a table and a banner that says who we are, what we're doing, and in one day, Saturday, from morning to 6 p.m. we raised almost just shy of $2,000.
Wow, $2,000.
It's amazing. It really is amazing how many people actually do donate.
Right.
I know there's a big stigma out there right now because of panhandlers and such. But in one thing I want to say is, especially if somebody is using the guise of donating to veterans, or if you give money to veterans, do not be afraid to ask them, what organization do you represent? Where does the money go?
Right.
Do you have a flyer? Who can I contact?
Right.
Ask those questions.
Yep.
Because believe it or not, some people do use the veteran's name or veteran's tags
Sure.
to raise money and take
Sure.
it home.
And that
So,
was going on a
and-
lot this weekend.
Well, explain
So,
that, Cinnamon. There, you brought that up. Explain a little bit of that.
Well, this weekend alone, with us being out at Lost Creek Fall Festival, and at the same time we had our other group up at Sam's, and we were getting a lot of feedback. Well, I've already donated down here at the Shinston Flea Market, or I've already donated over here to this guy.
Yeah, or up in Morgantown Flea Market, or,
Yeah.
wherever.
Yeah, right.
And it's just a solo person going around saying, I'm collecting for the veterans. That's it.
Yeah, just
Not-
a generic term.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
the veteran,
And-
no organization.
Horrible.
Just the veteran.
And
That's
people,
horrible.
I guess, have been handing him money hand over fist, but no explanation as to where that money is going to.
Right.
Where when we approach our people that come up to us, or we're trying to get their attention, we let them know we're with Honor Flight.
Yep.
And we let them know every penny we raise goes straight to those veterans. It doesn't go to our pockets at all.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
there's a website. There's flyers.
Yeah, that's what I was
there's-
going to ask.
you
Is
know,
where
yeah.
can you donate?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can donate to www.honorflighthuntington.org. You go to our website, and there's a donate button there. When you're donating for the Clarksburg flight, make sure in the memo line that you write Clarksburg flight.
So that's how they know to how to distribute the funds, I guess.
Yes, because we have two flights from the Huntington hub. We have a Huntington flight and a Clarksburg flight out of West Virginia.
Nice.
Can you say that
So-
one more time?
Yeah. Is that something? you-
www.honorflighthuntington.org.
Now, is that something we can put on Facebook? Or
Yeah.
Is it something you can put on Facebook?
Yeah. So like whenever we did our donation last year
Yeah.
for that,
Yeah.
we had to do the same thing. Had to have the Clarksburg memo, and,
Yeah.
and then Brent matched us.
Yep.
Remember
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
What about
You
what about a Facebook page? Can you do something like that? A lot of people see
Yeah,
that stuff.
we do have a Facebook page.
Do they? Do
I-
they?
Yeah.
Okay.
That it's all the volunteers get together and talk. But I think you can donate. right?
We have a volunteer page. If you're interested in volunteering with our organization, I put on Facebook for Clarksburg, and it is Clarksburg Honor Flight Volunteers. If you find that on Facebook and ask to join, I can okay you to join that page. And we have monthly meetings, and we definitely need more volunteers in the
I'm
area.
sure.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
we
what
definitely need more bodies.
like last year. Chad went as a
Guardian.
Guardian.
As a
Yeah,
guardian.
Yeah, I was the last minute. Darren had mentioned it to me like a couple days prior
Right.
to the show. I got my dad to go in, and he became a volunteer guardian as well. Absolutely wonderful. I'm gonna tell you, it was the first time I had ever went to DC myself.
Every one of our veterans is provided a guardian. Our guardians do not fly free. Our guardians
Right.
pay their own way, and they pay $300 to fly, which helps fund our flight.
Right. Right. And how satisfying, Chad, as a personal experience, when
I'm gonna tell you right now,
Tell me,
I freaking loved it.
tell me. Well, first of all, tell me about.
I did
No,
too.
you don't have to mention specific names, but who were you a guardian for? I mean, the background of that particular person.
It was Oki. His first name was Oki. That's what I'm going to tell you. But he was a Korean War veteran, and he really didn't talk much about his experience in the war,
Right.
and stuff like that. I mean that's something that overseas veterans we don't really open
that's a very
open up like that.
personal.
Sure, it is.
So, and of course, being a guardian, you've got to understand you can't pry.
Correct.
Exactly.
You have to just be there and assist, and that's really all your job is. Now, Oki was used a wheelchair all day, and And I pushed him around and this, that, and the other, and he would mention about this or mention about that. I got little tidbits of his story, and then all of a sudden he would shut down.
Right.
You know what I mean? He'd stop talking. He only lost his faculties one time. Mm-hmm. And that was when we got over to the Korean. And let me tell you something. That memorial,
That is awesome.
It can be spooky.
Yes.
If you sit there and think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That is, it's a great memorial.
Right.
But let me tell you something. The whole experience of seeing all the veterans as well. I mean, there was a couple guys that I actually knew personally that was over in another bus and stuff like that. And that's another thing. They shut down.
They shut down traffic,
roads.
buddy.
Do they?
Police escort the whole way.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the president rolling through
Oh,
town.
yeah.
The only person that gets priority over those buses is the president.
That's awesome.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Yep.
And
I mean, it's awesome.
It was just absolutely great. Just to see my veteran
Right.
in some of the expressions that he had. You know, I ended up, I've kept a little bit of a relationship with him.
Yep.
He used to be an auctioneer down in Philippines. And went to a couple of his auctions. As a matter of fact, I went to his last auction before he finally retired.
Right.
Stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you can get very personally involved with these people.
So Cinnamon, I mean, when we're talking about this now, I mean, we're bringing light to stuff, and you would think by now people would kind of know. But like you said, you're going to have these. You're going to always have the panhandlers per se.
Yeah.
What are some signs that they know that when you're going to give money, I mean, maybe they're not going to use the word honor flight, but to differentiate between the honor flight and some dude just out there with a cup looking to make a
that's
buck.
horrible.
I mean, are there things like you mentioned earlier? It's like, you know, if you don't have specific facts, and like you guys have specific facts, just to kind of be wary. I guess.
Yeah, you just have to be very careful. Look at the gentleman, you know, the person that's trying to approach you.
Right.
When we go out and do our tagging or make any type of appearances anywhere, we all have our volunteer shirts on, like Billy Joe's wearing now. And, you know, we try to make it known up front. You're not donating to a veteran.
Right.
You're donating to the honor flight for all the veterans.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is
It's
even
more
better.
specific.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of effort. Now, granted, anybody can put forward a show. You know, anybody can make T-shirts. Anybody can do,
Sure.
you know, make flyers, do whatever.
Sure.
And that's why I said earlier, don't be afraid to ask the questions. Where's my money going if I donate?
Exactly.
You know, and even if they give you information, check up on it. Go to that website. Go and check up on it. If you have to, check for the was it 501c?
Yeah.
Yep.
Check that.
503.
You know,
Right.
so you just do your homework.
All of our volunteers are provided paperwork, phone numbers for our hub director or for me and Joyce. They are provided our website. They are provided somebody to reach out to if somebody would ask.
Well, let me ask
At
you
all
this:
times.
if I want to be, if there's a person watching right now and they want to volunteer, okay, how do they go about being a volunteer, a guardian, say?
A guardian, they can they can go to our website that I gave you,
Right.
or they can contact Amy Johnson at 304-634-2393
Okay.
and ask for an application. But on our website that I gave you, those guardian forms and veteran forms are all there.
Okay. Well, let me
Fill
ask you
them
this.
out and mail them in.
Let me ask you this: say if you were a person that couldn't volunteer, but you wanted to do something, so you wanted to donate, and you wanted to do it directly because you just don't know, you're never out anywhere, and you just want to do something. How would a person go about saying, okay, I want to donate to the cause,
Send a money or a check or whatever.
to the honor
You can-
flight, and then make sure you put Clarksburg down again?
You
Yeah.
can mail your check to Honor Flight, 285 Gallagher Street, Huntington, West Virginia, 25705. And for the Clarksburg flight, please put Clarksburg flight in your
Right.
memo.
Right. And how many veterans do you normally take? What's the average, do you think?
Last year, we took, if I'm not mistaken, the number was 80.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we are looking to take around 100 veterans.
Wow, that's fantastic.
We're going to move up to 4 buses, but that will be pending on the mobility of the
Right.
veterans.
Because
And
I think Wasn't last year when it last year it was kind of in question if things were going to happen because the funding wasn't
that's
there.
why they had that last minute.
Yeah,
that's why we raised that.
And we pushed them right over the top.
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And this year, we are going to make it happen.
That is awesome. That is
It's not going to be
fantastic.
an if, it's going to be,
Right.
it
That's
is going to
fantastic.
happen.
Now, I'll
That's
tell you
fantastic.
something. I work with a lot of people and do a lot of volunteering.
Right.
But you want a organization to donate to, or an organization that has a couple Spitfires. Right there's them two.
Right. That's
Those
awesome.
two ladies right
Thank
there.
you.
That is awesome.
Appreciate that.
You know, in my group, that the American Legion Riders, we provide security for them a lot of times
Yes.
when they're out. You know, so we have some guys there on the bikes and everything. You know, so we can have bodies around the money.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
No, most certainly.
You know, so it's just, man, just to watch these two ladies work the crowd is just phenomenal.
That's
It's
fantastic.
nuts. I can't do it personally, but it's awesome to watch them work.
Well, listen, it's been a half hour already. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
What-
And time
real,
flies. And you
real
were,
quick, what if somebody wants to help fundraise? Like,
yeah, like a volunteer
Okay.
work. That,
Yeah.
that
to help
didn't
raise the
involve-
money.
That
That's
didn't
something
necessarily
else.
involve be a
Again,
guardian.
you can find me on the Facebook page. I am on Facebook, Billy Joe Claypool, or you can call me, 304-677-7812. We are looking for volunteers in all areas of West Virginia on this side of Huntington.
And
Nice.
Just to
There
let
are
you
many
know,
communities.
We have a lot of activities coming up that we could really use bodies
Yep.
for. We have
Yeah, what do-
leaf
what do you have
peepers
coming
in,
up? Yep.
leaf peepers in Davis. We have the Apple Butter Festival, and then also in collaboration with the American Legion's Post 31, we have a ATV UTV ride coming up October 19th.
Right.
And we need bodies for that as well as participants.
Well, that's what, you bring up a great point. And when you say like the Guardians is, that's one thing. But when you have all these other different fundraisers, so you do need people. You need boots on the ground per se.
Exactly.
That's going to help out with stuff like that.
Yeah.
We need lots of help. We also have a 31 bingo, October 13th. The doors will open at noon. Thank you. The early bird games start at 1, the regular games at 1:30. That is at the Clarksburg VFW.
Right down to.
We'll put
Yeah.
this up there. Put
We
that
are
up there so
selling
you can see.
raffle tickets for a quilt that will be drawn at that bingo. There's a picture of our quilt. We have an Adopt a Veteran program
Hey,
for
Chad, look.
$300 because it costs
Take a picture of
$300
that.
for a veteran. We can leave all these forms with you.
Okay.
And we also have a donation form.
Awesome.
Yeah, that
awesome.
quilt right there is beautiful.
If you
that,
can
that
leave
picture
these
does it
forms,
no justice.
I'm leaving everything.
we will
Fantastic.
post this for you guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Really
absolutely,
appreciate
we
that.
will. Absolutely. And once again, it's going to run about $80,000, and you're already at
$85,000.
$85,000. And what a
Cost of fuel.
what a good $85,000 to spend.
It is
Absolutely.
$70,000 just to charter that plane
My
from Clarksburg
goodness.
to
Yeah.
D.C.
And this is a yearly flight. So if you get, if you end up getting approached a couple times a year, or, and if one of the best things to do if you have given, and if you can't give again or don't feel like giving again, if you make a donation, get one of the bracelets, one of the wristbands.
right.
It says they're red, white, and blue.
Wow.
They're red, white, and blue. They say, I support Clarksburg Honor Flight. And if you're wearing them, if you have one of those, we know you already donated and we won't hit you again.
Fantastic. That's
Exactly.
That and they also.
Beads. If we're an event, me and Cindy spent the weekend at Lost Creek, the Lost Creek Fall Festival, and we did Mountain Fest at Station Square.
Yeah.
We sold wristbands and we sold out, so I got the bright idea we'd go pick up some beads. And the thing was, we told the crowd coming around, if you throw up your wrist or you show us your beads, we'll leave you alone because
And
we
that's
know you already
beads.
donated.
That's
so,
awesome.
This is how we know you donated to us. If you
Yep.
show us you have one of
Especially if,
these,
like she said,
let us know.
Right.
Especially at an event.
Oh, yeah, no, most certainly. Yeah,
For-
yeah.
Because we don't go
The
away.
Forest Festival.
I'm determined this flight is going to happen, and I'm going to
Absolutely.
come and see you every time. If you got a wristband on, I'll leave you alone. If you don't, I'm coming back again and again.
That's
Piece of
right,
cake,
especially
piece of
those
cake.
who say,
It's
"Oh, I
not-
carry plastic," or
Yeah.
"Oh, well, then here's our website."
And I can do
You
that
take
on.
that plastic and use it right there.
There you go.
That happens on PayPal on the website. I carry my phone. You can donate there. I can bring it up for you.
You got it all
That's
figured out.
awesome.
You get
That's
all figured.
awesome.
It's not an if when our it's not an if our flight's going to happen. It's when our flight's going
That's
to happen.
absolutely. And once again, want to thank you guys for coming
Thank
in.
you for having us.
Listen,
Thank you.
anytime, anything
Appreciate
you need something, tell Darren and we'll figure it out. We'll
Thank
do it.
you.
We'll
Thank
help
you.
with everything.
And a
What-
huge shout out to the Shinston Legion Riders for helping us.
They're really good dudes down there.
They are.
Once again, we had Billy Joe and Cinnamon in here from the honor flight out of Huntington, but they're going to take matters into their own hands out of Clarksburg, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. All right, well, listen, you guys have a long drive ahead of you. Be careful. Watch for deer. They're out.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Ladies, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
All right.
All righty.
Awesome.
That is fantastic. Once again, it's the honor flight. It's going to be like, what, $85,000. And it's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap.
But it's a great cause.
And you know, people might say, "Man, I want to be a guardian," but man, do I really have to pay $300? Yes, you do, because you get $300 worth of entertainment for the day.
Right.
You get fed. You get to walk around and listen to real people telling real stories that and seeing just the monuments themselves and stuff. My first time going, it was just absolutely wonderful.
Right.
Absolutely loved it. I was in awe of the memorials myself,
That's awesome.
but to see an older gentleman go around and see these memorials for the first time himself
Sure.
and know that he actually had part in what it was that was being memorialized.
Right.
You know, that just made my day.
It's kind of funny because I spilled a little bit of beer on the board a minute ago.
Oh, did you?
And ever since then,
is that what it is?
Can you tell something's changed?
Yeah, everything's real
changed.
loud
Is that what
now.
happened?
Yeah, it actually did. Michelle started when
You
you saw her
washed it out.
scramble. Megan, what are you doing in the studio? You came back, you survived Dorian. And you're not wearing a shirt that says Survived Dorian 2019.
No, but there was minor damage to the house, and the beach was closed for a while.
New.
There was cocaine.
Wow.
That flew up on the beach, just from.
Yeah.
So how much money did you make?
Yeah. How much did you take?
I actually, well, nobody could go on the beach because of that. They closed the beach.
See, I thought they closed the beach because of sea turtles.
No, they were
Sea
killed.
turtles were eating the.
They were
cocaine.
killed. Yeah, they were eating the cocaine.
No, a lot of sea turtle nests were killed and
Well, that
washed
sucks.
out. I know, it's really sad. There was minor damage to the house, but coming back for the hurricane was not planned.
Right.
Coming back for the wedding,
Was
which
planned.
congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Carpenter,
Yeah.
was planned. So I'm here for the weekend. I got to go out to Wine and Jazz. I got to watch Erica and Mia perform.
Yeah.
So it's been a nice little weekend
Yeah.
down
That's
here.
good.
You've had a
That's
good time then. So you excited to go back home though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
However, my hair looks great here. It's not curly. It's nice and straight.
It gets crazy.
Hey, tell us.
Oh,
Listen,
man.
one thing about Florida is you have to deal with bugs.
No, don't start this story.
Bugs.
I don't think
Bugs.
it's that bad. I lived in the South. I thought it was better than here.
Oh my gosh,
lot of
I'm
bugs
still
here.
have PTSD. So Thursday, my flight left late. It was like at 7. So I of course I had to make a pit stop at the mall. Got to get your last necessities. That's a girl thing to do.
Of course.
I get back in my car and there was a grasshopper about this big around. That sucker was huge.
That's
So-
a big grasshopper. Buddy.
Yeah, I FaceTimed my mom. I was freaking out. And then a bird comes down, it swoops into the car, and then I said, well, this is the part where I need to go. So I back up, and I turn my windshield wipers on. This thing crawls on the top of my car. So then I pull into the grocery store because I needed to get one of those sun passes so I didn't have to pay any tolls. And I rolled down my window about this much, and I said, sir, is there a huge bug on my car? And he goes, well, first of all, I said, hey, come here. Hurry up, come here. To this
Total stranger. The guy-
this random man.
The guy could have been a serial killer going, oh, hell yes, let me sharpen up my knife, little lady.
Well, I could have been a serial killer with, my window cracked that much, screaming out, hey, come here, to the first guy that would just come over to my car. Or that or a prostitute. I mean, I think that's what they do too. But so I said, is there a huge bug on top of my car? He goes, matter of fact, there is. I said, can you just get it off for me, like swoop it off? So he goes back, he gets his wad of paper or whatever he used and swishes it off and kicks it across the parking
That's
lot.
funny.
I said, yeah.
That's funny. And you were all good.
Well, no. Now I have PTSD and a bug bite on my butt.
Dang.
Now wait. How'd that get there?
Well, you shouldn't have said that because you're going sharks in the water now.
Yeah.
You have a bite on your ass.
Yep.
Well, let's
Yep,
move on.
That's it. That's it.
The next
End of
story is.
That's it.
We teased this last week. Now, are you a clean person? Okay, are you constantly? I know Michelle. She has a bottle of Purell. Is that what it's called? The
Yeah.
alcohol stuff.
Yeah, that's
She
it.
has
Purell, yeah.
Purell, whatever it is. Constantly, she's constantly rubbing things with this stuff because she can't be clean enough because everybody else has germs. Well, there's been a couple little interesting tidbits about being too clean that might lead to actually you having more allergies and even asthma because you're not letting your body fight off what it should fight anyway. You're using too much alcohol. The first one. This is one thing, and I use this. I look at this stuff. Almost everybody uses mouthwash. Jimmy's mouthwash tastes like salt. Mine tastes like alcohol.
Well,
Anyway, the University of
Right
Plymouth.
now, mine tastes like cinnamon.
No, listen.
I'm glad most won't get that.
yeah. Wow.
So anyhow, the University of Plymouth came out with a study, and it was all about mouthwash. Is mouthwash good? Well, anything that kills everything is not good for you.
Right.
We can all agree to that. Well, anyway, they come to find out that actually using mouthwash raises your blood pressure, if you can believe that.
I believe that.
And the reason being is because it kills all the bacteria in your mouth, as it's designed to do.
Right.
But in the process of doing that,
The salt.
so, bacteria in your mouth uses nitrates, which in the byproduct of that is nitric oxide. What nitric oxide does is relaxes your blood vessels. So when you don't have that, your blood vessels become tight like you're smoking a cigarette. Your blood pressure goes up just from using mouthwash,
So-
if you can believe that.
I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's talk about showers. Do you guys shower every day? Two
Yes.
times a day? 3 times a day?
Well, while we're talking about this, how hot is your water?
Scalding hot.
Yeah.
So hot. The hottest.
So hot.
I
like to.
my shower head actually tells me what the water temperature is.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
if it's-
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty
You're really-
fancy water.
You're
Yeah.
high up over there in
You're so
Shinnston,
rich.
Daggone.
Down at Lowe's.
Jimmy drives a Lambo, and all of a sudden, D-Mac has a water shower to tell him exactly what the water
So what
temperature
is your temperature?
I usually, if it's below 110, I get mad. So I want to keep it about 100,
Wow.
112 to 115. That's me.
Jacuzzi shower.
Oh, no, it's like, yeah, it's
I
unbelievable.
like to sanitize my skin.
Yeah.
It's like so hot, it's like beet red when I come
Yeah,
out.
that's what I do. That's what I do. But it's kind
no.
of neat for the kids, though,
Well-
because, they can, like Colt, I always tell him a safe place to be for him is between 100 and 108. And
I'm
so,
a little jealous.
And I love
I want one of
high
those.
water. I love high water
cheap.
pressure with the heat.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Almost like you could probably punch a hole through a
Yeah, yeah.
quarter, but like it's on your skin.
I want one of those.
Well, our hot water tank is set at the bare minimum.
Listen,
Oh.
No, it is
he
not.
tortures us.
This shower is way hotter than my shower in Florida.
You think?
I felt so good. I got in there and I was like, whoop, turned it all the way up. Took about a 15-minute shower. Sorry. And-
That's actually
And
pretty
now
good because
you
the
owe
other girls take.
$50 on the water bill.
But listen, dermatologists say you should only take 1, at most 2 showers a week.
Really?
Because
Ew.
it
Gross.
takes
That's
all
gross.
because what happens
Disgusting.
is
Ta-
what happens.
I believe.
It takes
funny
all
you
the
say
natural oils off your skin,
Yep.
which it'll start breaking it out. You'll get more acne. You'll start getting these cracks,
And you
which
also
inhibits more
stink.
infection. No. I just
Not
said
necessarily.
I said 1 to 2 showers a week. I did not say what
bath.
most Europeans do, which is they bath out of the shower
Wet
or
wipe
out of the
your
sink.
sack.
You get like your sweatpants. You get
Wet
like
wipe your sack.
you get like a little thing of you know what.
D-Mac, you keep,
You know,
my ribs! I'm coming, Elizabeth!
you keep your cul-de-sac out as
Now, see, what you're talking about
I don't live in a
is
cul-de-sac.
getting you a little sip
sack?
full of water and clean yourself. Now, Carol calls that a bird bath.
like a bird bath.
I grew up, my mother called it a whore bath.
A
but-
whore bath.
Yeah.
bird bath.
Or back.
I've even
Full arrow
even
bath.
heard women call it a PTA bath.
PTA.
Yeah.
What's that?
His PTA, what's that?
I felt like Michelle right there.
Wait, you lost
D-Mac was
me.
thinking about going to school.
Yeah, I
Let me
was.
see what this is. It's not parent
Well,
I'm
that's
totally lost.
Google, what's a PTA bath?
Real quick.
Well, oh Lord.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those people who volunteer,
Oh.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
But what you're technically
I shouldn't
supposed to
have
do
said that.
for skin health is just get like a little bird bath, like a bowl, and get like the places of sweat, because up here,
Why?
listen, you're just killing yourself.
It's just so much easier to get in the shower.
That's right, but that's why most infections start. That's how
Well,
people getting sick.
no, they
and you should
make
only
stuff.
wash your hair. How often do you wash your hair? I mean,
Twice
actually,
a week.
Twice a week.
Once a day.
Well, it don't bother me.
It
He
depends.
I wash
wanna
my
hear
hair
two
probably
maxes.
once
says,
a week.
says Mr. Clean
But
over
my
there.
hair's way more thick than yours is, so it's like once to
Well, mine
twice.
was too till I had you.
A
Yeah.
week.
Well,
A week.
Thanks.
No, that's a week. That's a week.
once.
A week.
Once.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
because if you do
no,
it more than that,
yeah.
it starts
Jeez.
drying
Don't
out.
go back on it now. We
Once
all
or
know how
twice.
dirty you are
Use
now.
dry shampoo in between.
Yeah, you have to use dry shampoo. You can't just go without washing your hair. But my hair is also really thick and long, and
Now, see, y'all talking about this stuff.
It
you ain't,
kills
you
your
ain't
hair.
talking about people like me.
Yeah.
Us tally boys, we got to take us a damn shower every day.
That's because you're like monkeys.
Because you're
walking out.
greasy.
Yeah, we greasy, man. I wash my. If I go one day without washing my hair, you can.
Jimmy hit that one out of the park.
Oh, what's
telling
the matter with you? What makes you different from us?
Let me tell you something.
are you stinky?
I sweat so bad.
Derek over here. He's dying.
Derek's got 3 broken ribs over there.
His face is
I go
4
one day
shades of
without
red.
washing my head.
Derek had different.
You can
sweaty
almost
balls
wring
on
the
his
grease
chest.
out.
Yeah.
Out of your hair?
Yeah,
It gets that bad?
I'm trying not to laugh, and I'm getting hot
Oh,
flashes.
I couldn't imagine.
yeah. I mean, for a lot of Italian guys, I'm telling you. Hey, this
I
crap
may be
was
glad I'm not Italian.
2 showers.
Stay away from
Yeah.
the Italians. I'll remember that now.
Gross.
If you with an Italian, you got to make sure they bath at least at full on shower every day. They ain't no.
Or just roll around in baby powder.
Yeah. Or flour.
Or
Flour.
That's why you always see flour.
If you roll around with flour, you're going to turn into gravy. Can't do that.
Well, Jed, you're allowed to take a shower 3 times a day. You have my approval. But here's the thing. The University of Michigan actually did a study on why asthma is getting so big now. And a lot of people having breathing problems. A lot of people also having, like, allergies. Everybody's complaining about allergies and getting sick more often.
Bad.
What,
My allergies went away when I moved to Florida, and I come back, and it's like my eyes are instantly the day after I came back. Mom had to give me an allergy.
Oh, I went to
I couldn't-
Colorado. It's like
I couldn't.
I can breathe.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I sleep better. I don't snore because I can breathe.
You were snoring like. Let me
How do
tell
you know
something.
you're not
That's-
snoring?
No, she does.
No, I don't.
You're sleeping.
Yeah. Let me tell you
I
something.
don't
The other
snore
night-
in Florida either.
Let me tell you something. You snore all the time too. So anyway,
Not in
the other
Florida.
night, Megan, her new bedroom's in the living room of the house, right?
Where the cat attacks my head at 8 o'clock in the morning.
So I walk out. First of all, I have to keep the cat out in the bedroom. Now listen, about 3.5 years ago, I didn't have to deal with any of this shit. Now all of a sudden, I'm fighting a cat to go out that wants to kill Megan. I go out. Megan's living on a mattress of Erica's old room, and she's like this, laying on her stomach, this all sprawled out like she just got shot, and she's doing. And she swears to God she doesn't snore. I'm like, what in the hell? I said, I need to go to work.
I told Chuck, I said, keep Kesha locked in the bedroom because she's attacking Megan. Kesha and Megan do not get along. Sisterly
It
fights.
was sisterly. I don't know
Yes.
what you call that, but
They
that's
do
not
not get
sisterly.
along.
Nope.
She is
nope.
one of the sisters, and you two don't get along for whatever reason.
She says,
So-
"I know where you sleep, bitch."
We had to- we had
Megan,
to-
but here's the thing. Megan gets along with everybody else. Everybody always seems to pick on Megan for whatever reason. The cat, the other two, they're always like, and you're the calmest one of them all. Unless
so
you're
we
sleeping.
locked Kesha up.
We had to lock Kesha up.
Yeah, we had to
But-
lock her up.
But
listen-
she was like acting like a wildcat. And then as soon as Mom got in the shower, I heard her get in the shower too. I was like, I wonder where the cat is, and I just put my little head down and went right back to sleep. And next thing I know, in my head, I was like, I got up real fast. Then I was up for good.
Machine gun kitty.
But listen, if you use this hand sanitizer stuff and you take showers all the time and you do all of this stuff all the time, your likelihood of having allergies or getting asthma or having some kind of a respiratory problem is 25% greater than the person that doesn't do it
I'll
every
take
day.
my
That's
chances.
great. Now,
That's great.
funny
Now you're just moving it
that
on.
we're on this subject.
Yeah.
But I read there was a thing that came across that were a lot of the old time sayings used to come from, like from the 1500s. Don't throw the baby out with the wash.
Yeah.
And where you get that from is because,
You couldn't see 'em?
the men. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the men that worked or whatever would have to would take the bath first.
Right.
Then the ladies in order, and then the babies were last.
Mm-hmm.
So by that time the water was so dirty you couldn't see them. So don't throw the baby out with the
How
wash.
about if it's
And-
yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
I don't think that was the 1800s.
But
Was
even
it?
and things like, do you know where the tradition of carrying a bouquet of flowers come?
No, I
come
do
Yeah,
not.
to mask the
Yeah,
smell
because they would take their yearly bath
right before.
in May. So that's when a lot of the weddings would take place.
Yeah.
Come June, they
then
would
the divorces
they would
take
start
place.
they would start to stink. So that they would just be getting back. So the bride would carry a bouquet of flowers to mask the smell.
Well, let me tell you somebody
That's
that
where
doesn't.
that, that's where that comes
something?
from.
Holy tamale.
I caught the bouquet last night with beer in one hand, and one hand I caught the
Well, yeah,
bouquet.
you
And
did.
if that's not wife material, I don't know what is.
Well, let me tell you somebody that's never have to worry about stinking.
Okay.
Nobody stinks.
Well, I know exactly.
It's just because Stink is afraid.
Damn
of this
right.
person.
This Saturday at the Non-Stink Festival at Camp Muffley in Morgantown is Vaughn Haggerty.
Vaughn Haggerty.
He doesn't have BO, but he has big balls as Vaughn Haggerty with special guest star Wayne Ward. Get your tickets now and get on the cruise to go see Big Balls. Vaughn Haggerty. Best looking here at Clarksburg, Wayne Ward. At the No Stink Festival at Camp Muffley in Morgantown. Get your tickets now at 681-222-7646.
It's Vaughn and Wayne and Vaughn.
Wipe your ass or go home. It's the duo of cleanliness. Vaughn Haggerty, Wayne Ward, the Cleansing Festival at Camp Muffley.
No stink here.
But speaking of stink, one thing that I loved, and we haven't done this for a long time.
Stink finger.
Oh, man. Listen, you're making yourself hurt over there. You got 3 broken ribs. By the way, Bruce.
Hey, smell my finger.
Too bad Bruce isn't here tonight.
A stink bug.
But anyway,
Stink bugs
I
everywhere.
always liked Yo Mama jokes.
Oh yeah, I
Always
like
liked
those.
those things.
God bless them. We'll have to get up on it.
Yo Mama so smelly she make right guard turn left.
Winning.
Hey, I got one from today.
Okay.
Your mama so fat she sit on a rainbow and Skittles come out.
Dang.
I'm trying not to cough.
Your mama's so stank, her toothbrush prays every night.
Ew.
Yo Mama smells so bad that even a dog won't sniff her ass.
Oh wow. Let's see here.
Your mama so smelly the judge said odor in the court.
Oh no.
Odor
Oh,
in the
no. This one right here.
Don't read that one.
Yeah. I'll read that one.
That's a bad
Your
one.
mama's snatch stinks so bad it smells like a
Smells like what?
smells like a dirty fish tank with dead fish in it.
Your mama's breath so bad she need prescription strength Tic Tacs.
Your mama smells so bad, even the dog won't sniff her ass.
It's so nice. Was going to say it twice. Bang! I finally got one after 4 freaking weeks.
Your mama's so nasty and smells so bad, she was entered in a Hunger Games and won within 30 minutes.
Your mama so stank she uses Dr. Scholl odor eaters for panty liners.
Your mama's so stank the U.S. government uses her bathwater for chemical weapons.
Your mama smells so bad when she walked down the street, the homeless offer her soap.
Your mama so stank when she opened her legs, I got car sick.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, my God. Listen, we're going to have to keep these up for a second, I think.
Your mama smells so bad. Defense contractors put her farts in tear gas.
Your mama's so stank, I thought it was a Red Lobster.
Oh. Your mama's so smelly, she woke up Sleeping Beauty.
Oh my gosh.
Your mama pussy stank so much she had to contact poison control.
Well, there you
go. Your mama's so smelly when she farts, people accuse her of global warming.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Chuck is gagging. Thinking about
and there it is. We haven't had that in a while.
Stinky puss.
Your mama smells so bad. Shit, glad to escape.
Shit, glad to escape. Don't think about that now.
What stinks like shit and has buck teeth? Your mama.
Oh, man. I'm glad.
Oh my
You
God.
okay over there?
I'm just glad we waited for Billy Joe and sent him in to leave us the
I'm not.
What was it? The stinky veg? The dog shit? What was it?
Dog shit in the stinky veg.
Oh God! Must be the blue waffle stuff.
Oh, you don't need no
I'm
blue
sure
waffle
he's thinking
shit.
about that cottage cheese that builds up and rolls.
Oh yeah! It's on antibiotics.
There has
It
been
stinks.
more. There has been more curse words said tonight.
There were things we were going to talk about that we're not going to talk about now.
Your mama so stinks she makes a skunk smell like roses.
Oh man, that's gross.
That was fun.
Oh dear God!
Now that we got
Good
Chuck to the,
times. Good
now that we got
times.
Chuck to the point where his stomach's turning,
Good times.
Oh yeah, now it's time to bring up the
I got some
the
chocolate
vag
here I want
chocolate.
people to try.
This will be the final experiment for this evening.
Oh, now we got to try something.
So where'd you
Yeah.
get these at?
I got these at
From your mama.
It looks like it.
from
Stinky veg.
Stefanelli's Candies up in Erie, PA.
Say it again.
Stefanelli's Candies up
Okay.
in Erie, PA.
Stinky veg. Is that what you want to say?
This went down.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is some Willy
We gotta
Wonka
calm
shit
down.
going on.
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
Blue Southern.
Blue
I'm
waffle
crying.
chocolate.
Oh,
right.
man, you guys make me sick.
This is actually milk chocolate. Now this stuff is all handmade up here at this Stefanelli's
I
place,
bet
right?
it is.
Stefanelli. Now, Stefanelli, that was one
Whose
of Fonzie's
hands?
buddies in Happy Days, right?
Yeah,
Stefanelli.
yeah.
Your mama's hands.
Hey, by the way, real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we are at, I just happened to notice, 3,999 people that have liked the Rogan Radio Facebook
Wow.
page.
Facebook page.
If you
We
have
need
not
one more
liked, we need
person.
4,000 right now.
If
have
you're
not
the
liked
next
this thing-
contestant, you win
Nothing.
We need one.
You win a smelly vagina.
We need one person out there right
person.
now
If you
to
have-
like the Rogan Radio Facebook
one.
page.
And we will
Just
send you a
one.
blue
Just
waffle
one.
pendant.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm gonna pass the bag around. Y'all go ahead and get you a piece of
Bad,
candy.
bad,
now,
bad.
now, Chad, explain to once again, because I was kind of halfway gagging.
Okay, this
Yeah, this will
You
make
think
you
you were
guess.
before?
milk chocolate
Milk chocolate.
is what it actually is, but where I say it's that Willy Wonka kind of thing going on. If you like steak,
Oh, it smells like
you'll
chocolate.
like
no,
this
no.
candy,
No, wait.
this chocolate.
It smells like chocolate. It looks like chocolate.
So it's like so we're
So
saying
just turds.
so we're saying
You're sticking a piece of chocolate in your mouth, but what you're going to taste is actually
Sticking what in
steak.
your mouth?
steak.
It looks
Okay.
like chocolate
We're,
with
Okay,
we're
we
all
gonna do
going to
this
do it
together?
together, so we are going to
Monterey.
die together.
that
I got us on the
monorail.
room.
ready.
Dear.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's fucking horrible.
You haven't even had time to chew it up.
I'm trying to taste chocolate, but I can't.
Oh my God, it is steak.
No, it tastes like
Outback.
old steak that's been in your refrigerator too long.
That, you know what? The final after bite tastes just like something with a little
It
bit of
tastes
A1
like
on
steak.
it. It does.
Just like something
It's weird though.
with A1.
I don't know.
No, something.
I'm sure that's.
Well, you know what? Normally Jimmy's into trouser trial, but he's been eating meat muscle lately.
I don't like
My
that.
question is,
I do not like that.
this is my question. How can they make chocolate taste like steak?
Put seasoning in it.
Yeah.
Horse
Carol and I got an
shower.
idea. We
That's
think
actually-
this is that
God, dude, now it's like stuck in my mouth. Oh.
You wouldn't be the first time you
I
said
think it's good. Tastes like steak.
that Montreal steak seasoning.
That's what's on it. It's
Honest
gotta
to
be.
God, I think that's what's on.
It's like, you
Yeah.
know what though? If you get past the shock that chocolate tastes like steak,
No, it doesn't even take because the texture. It's like melting like chocolate.
Yeah.
It has this.
You have a baked potato one for an appetizer?
Oh,
Side dish?
I can give you another piece.
ugh.
I don't like that. I really don't. Like that.
G-Mac,
It's another
tell us how you
piece.
really feel.
I mean, I
We
dropped
took the
it.
two
That's like those-
smallest pieces also.
I know.
But you know what?
That tastes like.
That's like those.
But
I'm
here's
not
the
even
thing-
say that.
but I still have the taste of steak, and then I'm starting to
Yeah.
enjoy it a little bit now.
I was gonna say
I'm
that
liking
tastes
it.
like ass. But then
I should have asked for well done though.
That's what I did, Carol. I let it melt.
I'm thinking about what this aftertaste I have is. I can't even describe it.
That's like them damn.
It tastes just like to me.
those
It's like
jelly
Go ahead,
beans.
go ahead
Those
and
jelly
try.
beans that are
Took a dump
flavored.
in your mouth.
It's
Yeah.
actually
with all different
the
shit.
name
I
of it at the name of it at Stefanelli's, which you can get on the. They've got a website and everything too. The name of it is actually seasoned bark.
Seasoned bark.
Yeah.
Describe it, D-Mac.
so
Go
seasoned
ahead.
bark. When they say seasoned bark, they're talking about like
I think
dog,
we need some music.
or
and
they're
let-
talking about tree.
we need a little music for D-Mac
okay.
to describe his.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
For a second. We're gonna do this
Here we
right now.
go.
So
Oh,
we're gonna
wait.
have a first-hand review
Yep.
from D-Mac.
This is the review of the chocolate steak.
So, Derek McIntyre here with Rogan Radio. Just had me a piece of
Tell me more.
Stefanelli's
Seasoned bark.
seasoned bark.
I want to
chocolate.
hear it all.
It tastes
Every
like total.
bit.
Just my first reaction was, get that out of my mouth. Immediately.
Why? Why do you want it out of your mouth?
Because it's nasty.
Was it rich and creamy?
What was
It was.
nasty?
because it hasn't had a shower.
Oh, the people who work in this factory need to shower every day. I don't know. I
Describe
can't even,
the
I can't even describe
nastiness.
it. It tastes like
We want to hear it.
Blue waffle.
Detail.
it tastes like a walnut tree.
It's like a walnut tree.
That's not what I got from it.
It's got, honest to God, it's got to be that steak seasoning. That Montreal steak
Yeah,
seasoning,
Montreal steak seasoning.
or whatever it is. I like that stuff. But inside this chocolate, that's just not working.
It's not. No.
But see, you know what though?
That was
It kind
nasty.
of grew on me towards the end.
You liked it.
Yeah, towards the end.
I kinda like it.
I mean, it was kind of weirding the first time
No.
that I ate.
I still got that taste.
Yeah. the seasoning taste.
Last time I saw Jimmy doing that, he was at the truck stop.
My brain is just.
You've had
spinning.
worse in your mouth, boys. Come on.
Well, that.
Listen, he's got 3 broken ribs. Leave the guy alone.
I ain't dealing with no angels here. Come on.
When I can't get out of this chair.
If you can't get out of the chair, we have to lift you into the truck and say, "Okay, time to get the hell out of here."
Yeah. I don't know. I can't describe it anymore. I can't. I don't even know.
That was
So you're
It's kind of
definitely
like chalk. It's like a piece of steak that was rubbed around in like
ass.
something.
Ass. Rub your steak in ass and eat it.
I wonder if they have like a. I wonder if
Your mom is stinky ass.
I wonder if they have lobster. I wonder if they have cod.
What if they have
chocolate.
fish chocolate?
Ew.
Fish chocolate.
That would be.
Fish
Fish
chocolate.
chocolate.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I am
what
gonna,
a combination.
That's gross.
Chocolate
That's
taco.
right.
I am going to say this is the weirdest chocolate that they had there. The rest of this stuff is pretty well traditional style stuff.
Chocolate starfish.
Oh no!
Carol said, when was the last time you licked a walnut tree?
I can tell you the last time he licked an oak tree.
I don't know, Carol. It just that popped in my head. A walnut tree. You know how like the bark on a walnut tree is all weird and I don't know.
No, not really.
I am not
Why don't you-
making
why
that
don't you
connection.
tell us about it?
I can't. It looks like I don't even.
Blue waffle.
It can.
Why does everything come back to that, Herb? Come on, we're trying to run a show here.
Now listen, we were talking.
Jeez.
Now, I will be honest with you. It does look like somebody like cut some lumber over top of some chocolate while it was trying
It's
to
gross.
I mean, it
Yeah,
does
it's
look
gross.
pretty nasty.
But I didn't think
gross.
like. See, I will say this: I didn't think it was that bad. Once I got out of the figure that I
Once
was
you
going
got
to eat
the-
like a Hershey bar.
Once you got the taste separated.
Because I'm all one about to go on the Hershey Highway, and whenever I have that opportunity to have chocolate, I'm like, bang, man, I'm all about it. Then all of a sudden I start eating this, and I'm thinking, okay,
Come
well,
on, Gus.
now I'm at the Roadhouse, and now it's all of a sudden this Hershey thing's going to
Back-
start talking
Now
about
it's all
like
about
piece of meat.
catfish.
We have
Yeah.
people like listening.
Well, listen, here's the funny thing. Because,
I hope so.
I hope.
You hear this,
Well, they
John?
were.
12.
You hear what she's saying now. Well, today up
What?
at Cheat Lake, we were loading a refrigerator in. And we were trying to guesstimate how much
listen.
room
It's
we
sick.
had.
Men are sickening.
Like Dr. Hall was talking about, well, we have 6 to 8, maybe to 12
Why, yes,
inches
we are.
over here
It's
to play
all
with.
about the inches, and
And
it
I'm like-
immediately goes to a penis.
And,
joke.
and the only person that's thinking that is Michelle, because I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just like,
No.
Thinking, well, we could probably get that in there.
No.
I'm thinking, well, I did say there's a joke in there somewhere, and then all of a sudden Michelle runs her mouth like, it always
Because
goes
then
back to the penis jokes.
Always goes.
We're
back
just trying
to
to
that.
we're just
That's
trying to
all
load a
men-
Because she's
refrigerator
married
back in
now,
the truck.
Chuck.
I know.
You
It's-
know.
I mean, seriously.
Yep.
Like you can't
Beforehand.
even load a refrigerator. You can't do anything. You can't pull weeds out of a yard without it going back to a penis. Everything with a man
And?
goes back to
Hey, just
that.
because you don't have one,
There's farts in there
Seriously.
somewhere.
hey, just because
You
you
can pull
don't,
a
Say, it
penis,
sounds
too.
like there's penis envy going on.
just
I
because you
know,
don't,
right?
just because you don't have one doesn't mean we're wrong. You're just not in
Listen,
the club.
if I want one,
Exactly.
I can go get one because it's that day and age.
Listen,
that I have
what are you
my
trying
rights.
to say right there?
Right. What are you trying to
I
say?
know.
like-
right?
You-
If I want one, I'll go get one.
It's pretty cool. Have you looked
You
up
have
the
one right
surgery?
there.
oh, I thought you were just going to go down the street and pick somebody up.
Yeah,
oh,
me
you're
too.
going to get one.
Like
Oh, go
me.
ahead. Hell, I'll pay
Me
for that.
personally, it is 2019.
You can watch how they do
Hey,
it.
Google that. Let's see
Yeah.
how much that is, just as
Yeah.
a curiosity.
How's the cheat
How
like
much we
today?
got to save up
What's up at Cheat Lake today there? Was it the crab
Take a
place
guess.
again?
today?
Well, yeah, we were right up
We
there
were there
today. You
today.
should have said something.
Yeah, why
let's,
didn't you?
Let's
See
guess.
how much is what would you call that? A
Jimmy,
sex
I'm sure
change?
you were at
Yeah,
a
I'd
crab
say.
place. today.
I'm going to guess.
Addictomy.
Drop the thing off of me.
It's www.addictomy.com.
Trying to run a show here, Michelle.
I'm going to
keep
take
Why does it always got to go back to the penis joke?
There are people listening.
I'm wondering why she knew the website so well.
It's anywhere. The cost. Okay, it's actually different.
Okay.
The cost for a female to a male is about $50,000.
Okay.
The cost for a male to a female is between 7 and 24, depending on, I
Well,
guess,
that's
if they have
cheap.
to use a chainsaw.
Oh, so it's
That's
a
because they
lot
just cut
more.
that junk off and not have to try and
Cut and
yeah.
fold, cut and
Yeah,
fold.
right?
Otherwise, you have to attach and glue. It's a little bit different.
It's-
There's
So
a
what'd you
lot
say?
of-
50,000.
Turn that thing
50,000
inside
for
out.
if a chick wants to.
Now, honestly, I have no desire to ever do
not
that.
worth
but-
it.
Listen, I was actually
No.
born a female, and what happened
Just-
was Dad did he blew real hard through my belly button, and bang,
boom.
that thing kind of came
Popped
back
out.
outwards, just like it does when you
Just
blow
like a
bubble wrap.
turkey in the oven. Boop.
So are you saying it's about that
Okay.
big?
Just like a turkey popper. Turkey popper.
That's what
Okay.
happens usually when
Everybody
you turn them
loves
on.
the Listen, how excited do people get with a turkey popper?
Well,
When you
I
see
get-
that pop out, you're like, woohoo!
You get
There's
excited with
I
the
go to
It's
turkey
Heavenly.
time
popper?
to move on
Listen,
with
I go
my
to
life.
Heavenly Hands for my. I don't know how to even cook a turkey.
So
I've
you
never
don't
done
eat
that.
turkey.
Oh, boop,
I've never cooked a turkey. Megan
that
has.
quick.
Have you
Deep fried.
That
I've
quick.
never tried a deep,
Deep
fry
fried
either.
You don't,
turkey's
you don't put
great.
that in deep fried.
Yeah.
So you don't get no.
Well, yeah. You wouldn't.
What the hell?
We need it.
Practice them for later.
You know something? Completely off subject. Completely off subject.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking about this earlier today. Have you guys noticed downtown Chinston the painting of the
Yes.
holes and stuff?
Yes.
Is that not awesome or what?
That is.
American
going-
Legion post. American Legion painted one down there. It's the shape of a flag right outside.
I saw that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't say I haven't noticed. I haven't been downtown
Yeah.
lately.
When you go through town, look, they have
Yeah.
Andy.
They're painting all the telephone poles.
Yeah, Andy Kismore
Cool.
is doing a. It's called the Chinston Collaborative.
Actually, I saw something on there to where because somebody was thanking Kevin Wiles over a telephone pole painting or something. I had no idea what they were doing, so they're doing this on every pole.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
pole in Simpson. You know how back in the day they
All
used
the
to climb
poles.
the poles and then they paint them so far up white.
Right.
Well, now that distance of white, Shinston is taking it to where you can adopt a phone pole
Adopt a
basically.
phone pole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The band did
So
one.
yeah, band did one
We
right
should
outside
do
Lincoln.
that. Put
No,
Rogan
listen.
Radio
Yeah.
down it.
Now listen, it's funny you say that because I got a text tonight.
Okay.
Adopt a phone
If
pole.
you guys would be interested in this, and we'll talk about it a little bit off the show if I can find it. Do we get to 4,000 yet?
I don't know.
We're
looking for
still
that one.
waiting.
3999.
Come on, we need one person to like the Rogan Radio
Send somebody,
Facebook
just tell them they like
page.
this thing.
One
Yeah.
person.
Listen, we're
before
going to
we
go
get
on a
off.
marathon. Somebody
We will not shut
Jimmy,
up
find
until
me
this
some
happens.
find me some telephones.
Come on.
Let's call
Somebody.
The sound of a telephone.
Oh man, I don't know.
Somebody.
But we got a text message here. I'm going to read it to you, and I think it would be pretty cool because of the homecoming thing. Let's see, it's going to be right here. Drake Loss sent a note saying, right here it is. Hello, Lincoln High School is having their annual homecoming parade on Wednesday, October 2nd in downtown Shinnston, and would love for you to participate in it this year. If you would like to participate, please let me know, and I will add you to the list and give you more details about the lineup times and places. Thanks, and I hope you can make it. So that would be kind of cool. We've always talked about being in a
Yeah.
parade.
Let's do
Right.
it. Let's do it.
You want to broadcast it while we're in it?
We could
Let's
do that.
do the parade.
There we go. Is that the best you got?
Yeah, we got them. They're
like-
ringing. Phones are
okay.
ringing off the hook right now.
We are.
Oh, listen. Call in. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Listen, we're doing a telethon right now,
That's
and we're
what I
looking
feel
for
like.
that one person to like Rogan
One
Radio.
person.
Operators are standing by
One
now to take your
person.
phone call.
Yep.
We're not going to get off here tonight till you do it.
222-7646. Do it
Just
now.
like the Rogan
Kids will
Radio
not be able to sleep tonight in
Facebook
Ethiopia
page.
unless we get that one like.
Get up there, hit the like button.
We will
people.
mail you all of Chad's chocolate if you just like
And I
the
think
page.
Darren's dad, perhaps.
Is
might
he the
be
winner?
I just saw something pop up,
Uh-oh.
but I might be wrong.
Let's see.
Refresh.
Come on, be there. We're looking for that
Gosh,
one
I'm
person.
so nervous.
The one person has not liked Rogan Radio yet.
We got-
And we can
Come
go
on.
with this.
Come on.
No, it's still down to $39.99.
Oh,
We just
come
need
on,
one.
People,
We're looking
one.
for one.
One
If we
person.
get two, I'll buy you a
One
Powerball ticket.
person.
Dang, money bags.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe we'll start this next week.
We'll get it.
One thing that we didn't get to, one thing that we were notorious for is talking about things in the beginning of the show that we never get to. We had some crazy news. We talked about the taco guy that was in the contest who died.
He died eating tacos?
Yeah.
Choke.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear.
I
Was it on
know.
a
Choked
Tuesday?
on a taco.
You
Could've
can
been on
never
a
find a
Tuesday.
good chicken taco.
That would suck.
Jimmy
hard.
loves fish tacos.
I like fish
We're going to
taco.
go ahead and
fish
my
taco.
sister loves those things. By the way, I don't think they'd be very good.
Monogos fish tacos.
We're also, but we'll talk about that next week.
Always go back to that.
Oh, not next week. The
talking
week
about-
after, whenever.
I love tacos.
Yeah.
So
when we have-
what did we decide? Are we going back to weekly?
we are going to go on the 18th. Is when we're going to go back to the winter time. We got 4,000 likes. Ding,
Yeah!
ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Let's see who that was, perhaps.
Who was it?
Yeah. Let's see who it was.
Woo-hoo.
Let's see if I can find that out real quick. I thought it was Darren's dad there, Rick, but I'm not totally sure.
Who was 4,000?
We made it 4,000 though.
They're
so
getting
that's
all of Chad's
fantastic.
chocolates.
Now we can. Ooh. We can go ahead and shut this show down now.
Now we got
mission
4,000.
Yeah, we
accomplished.
can they just wanted us to
See,
shut
the
up.
bad part about it is I pull
That's
up
why
the
they did
page.
It says you don't like it.
What's it say?
Refresh.
Mine says
Refresh.
$39.97.
Okay, well I'm looking. Look right here. Look right here in this
Yeah,
corner, right
he
there.
gets
You
the,
just reached
big one right now.
4,000 page likes.
It
It
sure
just-
says it.
Son
it
of
says it.
a
It says it.
gun.
It says it.
I'm going to create a post right now.
Yeah.
You know.
I think you should.
Right while we're in the air.
I think this post is brought to you live on the air in the Studio A.
When I go to Rogan Radio and look at it, it says $39.97.
That's what Chad
Refresh.
says.
Son of a gun.
How about
That's
that?
fantastic.
We got the official though.
Yeah.
Right here.
Bam, bam, bam. Thank you, man.
We got it.
Today's like a number. Let's see, right
Yeah,
here.
mine said
wonder-
3999, but I
You know
haven't
what I'm
refreshed.
wondering?
So
I'm wondering if somebody likes it that you have blocked.
Maybe we had 3
It doesn't-
people
No,
drop off.
it just take a little bit of time.
yeah, because mine says 3999, and I haven't refreshed. So
If you're looking at it upside down, that's 666. Get out!
Oh, my gosh.
So that's fantastic. Good. We did an accomplishment. Thanks for
4,000.
Thank you.
Next goal was 5,000.
next goal's 5,000.
So we're coming up
Share
on
it.
October. Tis
Yeah.
the
Tell your
season
friends.
to talk about cool videos we want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So the next
Halloween.
show will be in 2 weeks on the 8th, and
Yeah.
we will have Tim Cross here from Real Shoot Wrestling. We're going to talk about this thing. It's going to happen on a couple dates in October where you can go out in Arizona if you had that opportunity and actually try to survive a night with Jason off of Friday the 13th.
That would be awesome.
That would be very cool. There's only going to be a couple nights in October you can do
That'd
that.
be fun.
We'll also talk about these. We'll have some Darwin Awards to pass out on
Oh,
our
good,
own.
good.
We'll be talking about the senior night that's going to be happening up at
We need to go to a haunted house and
Hey.
record it for Rogan Radio.
for real.
Yes.
For real.
Also,
For
are we
real.
handing
For
out
real.
candy this year?
Are we going to hand out
Are we
candy?
handing out candy this year?
Well,
And
Right here.
if we are we dressing up this year? Come on.
We'll be right here. We're having the party.
what day's Halloween
Big
on?
party here.
It's Thursday this year, right?
Yes.
Halloween's on Thursday.
Right
Let's
here.
do it.
Yeah,
Is
is that
it-
when they do
seriously,
the candy?
serious.
Is
Dress
that
up.
when they do it?
When's the last time we did a
We
live
gotta dress
broadcast?
up.
Jimmy, when's the last time we did a live
2 years
broadcast?
ago.
It's been 2 years. We didn't do one
Sweet,
last
that
year.
No,
right
it's
there was-
three.
no, that was
Oh,
the
okay,
first one.
3 years ago.
It's
We
Been
didn't do it
3
last
years
year.
since we've done a live
3
broadcast?
years ago.
Yeah, 3
'cause
years
remember,
ago.
I sat there with the
Yeah, that's right.
the mask on.
We're going to do a
And
live
No, no,
broadcast.
that was the first one. The second one, remember, I wore the zombie mask.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It definitely wasn't last year because I brought
It
the
was
kids
3
over.
years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
For a
so we're
fact.
going to do a live broadcast.
So
there.
seriously, we're going to dress up this year.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do a live broadcast.
All right,
too.
you heard that. Everybody's dressing up.
I probably won't.
Bullshit.
No. Listen, I got the kids to take trick or treat.
So?
No, but you can come
Plenty
later.
of adults
Yeah.
go
Bring them when
dressed
they're
up.
done.
Derek's going
Sounds
to dress up as a guy with a broken rib.
When I
Yeah,
lived
right.
in the- when I lived in the
He'll still
South,
be there by that time.
when I
I'm
lived
going to
in the
be the
South,
doctor.
the-
I'm going to be
the,
the doctor
the
off
brain
of a
surgeon.
Cannonball Run.
There you go.
Like, this is my only toy I need.
when I lived in the South, it was a great excuse for all the moms to dress up like sluts and stuff. And they
Yeah.
walk around with wine and be like, hey,
Hey.
you know, it's always
What
a
I
good
have to look
excuse.
forward to. Wait
Yeah.
for it.
It's
It's
always a
south,
good
right?
excuse
Okay.
for adults to dress
Yeah.
up.
Then we'll do it.
No, I thought it was north, actually.
I'm going to find.
No,
Take
we
your
live
kids
in the
around.
north.
What is it?
We live.
We
From
don't live in the
Florida,
north.
it's the
Well, yeah,
north.
you're northern part of Florida.
Listen, the other
Yeah.
night, I'm going to tell you this quick story. We're going to shut this down.
Florida.
So,
What I meant.
so anyway,
Oh, Lord.
Megan comes in and she's incognito because she has this rent a car, right? So we're talking the other night. And she said, "Well, I'm from Mississippi." And I said, "Actually, you're from Missouri, but I can see where you would get after the Miss kind of screwed up a little bit because the license plate's from Missouri."
That's what I said when I pulled in, and I said, who the heck is here from Missouri?
Yeah, but Megan, she's like, "I'm from Mississippi, but I have Missouri plates."
Fair enough.
Don't pay attention.
M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I.
Automatically fill it in.
Listen, that's okay.
You know?
You're allowed.
One and the same.
All right. Anyway, once again, sending in condolences to the Beck family tonight.
Yep.
Bruce Takahashi, he had he's over actually doing a contract with us in Japan this weekend. He's plus he had that strip appearance with what's her name, Brie Olson, which is fantastic because he was used to do that. Which, I know. Yeah, he's like that cool dude that does that stuff.
Yeah.
He always liked the little Japanese guy.
I know. No, there's no danger there. Mark, he's still down there. Mark's still down in Florida right now, saving the sea turtles. They're trying to clean some stuff up down there on the beaches, specifically over there on the what would that part of the world be? Flagler's Beach.
That's beside me.
Yeah.
That's like
Flagler.
10 minutes away.
Flagler, yeah. So he's down
That's
there
where we're
helping.
there.
He's down there with Clearwater Aquarium from over on Clearwater side, doing specifically helping sea turtles out to get to the ocean.
Don't
pretty good.
worry.
He's doing a pretty good job.
Flagler Winery is still there. No damage.
Boom, good.
Don't worry, guys.
It's the most important thing, right?
So once again, don't forget about the honor flight. We'll be hitting you up with details about that. What a great,
Watch for the page.
What a great cause
We'll put
that is,
everything
and
up.
they are
Yep.
going to absolutely get there. Thanks for getting everything to 40,000 already. 85,000 is going to be the main goal, and it's going to happen.
85,000 each
Billy
year.
Joe has
We'll have
very
information.
confident
I
in
was just
getting that
looking
there.
through here. There's information on how to adopt a veteran, the fundraisers that are coming up that you can go on, ATV rides, bingo,
All kinds of cool stuff.
all kinds. Yeah.
And they
So
definitely
watch
need,
for it.
And if you want to be a guardian's one thing, but if you have a free weekend
can
and you want to be a
adopt a veteran.
volunteer for one of the events because you need
Yeah, you
boots on
can
the ground to kind of help.
volunteer up at the airport to help with the
Yeah.
breakfast.
All kinds of
and loading
different
them on the
things.
plane, loading the wheelchairs, all that stuff.
All kinds of different things. But be looking for the information on that or look for the honor flight and specifically put Huntington in there. But it's this is based out of Huntington, but it's for Clarksburg. So if you make a donation,
specifically,
make sure you
Make
wait
sure you put
Clarksburg,
Clarksburg
there.
in the memo.
Absolutely. So on behalf of Chapopopochio from Monongah, D-Mac with 3 broken ribs or bruised ribs or try not to laugh.
Don't
tonight.
laugh.
I'm past that.
Down on the director's seat, we have D, straight from Daytona, Florida. How sexy does that sound? No, Megan, that's you, not Derek.
I was very confused.
We have Megan back in this. Woo, 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 woo. Straight from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's Jimmy Whiz.
In his pants.
You know what? He's not missing Antonio Brown today, boy. No. And straight
How
from
to lose a guy in 10 days.
Webster. straight from Webster Springs, Webster County. Miss Woodchopper herself, the one that likes to eat tacos and what else? And yeah, she does.
Steak chocolate.
And all this other kind of stuff, and tell me I'm an asshole all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Rogan. Until next week, thanks for listening to Rogan Radio.
Peace.
Night.
Peace out.